Hello, this is Truman. A few days ago, I saw on news where the rioters were cheered as they pulled down a statue of Columbus. Years ago, we used to honor Columbus for discovering the New World. But in many's eyes, he's now seen as a villain. Now, why the football? Well, we often love our sports, football, soccer, basketball. But how would you feel if after a stadium is filled with 100,000, you watched as the loser of a football game were marched to the center of the field and beheaded? Well, you wouldn't attend such cruelty. It would show and reveal your heart. And yet we go to Rome and we see the Colosseums and we see they were filled with a society that cheered for blood. As Christians were fed to lions and destroyed by wild animals or gladiators. Then we go back to the old world of the society of the Aztecs and Mayas, in which stadiums were also built, and there was forms of sporting games in which the losers were beheaded, tortured, or sacrificed. These sporting events often revealed the cruelty and depravity of a society. Well, when we think about nations, and we think about God raising up nations to drive out other nations, it's hard for us to comprehend all the factors that are involved. But God would say, for example, to Israel, you cannot have the land of the nations of Canaan, for their iniquity is not yet full. And God was long-suffering and allowed 400 years to pass before he allowed Israel to conquer the land. But he made it very clear to Israel that I'm not giving you this land because of your personal righteousness. In fact, the scriptures would read, it is not because of your righteousness or uprightness of heart that you go to possess this land, but it's because of the wickedness of these nations that the Lord your God drives them out before you. Secular history misses this. Biblical history makes it very clear that the rise and fall of nations has behind the scenes a sovereign God involved. Often, powerful nations are the lesser of two evils to seemingly bring a season of peace to a world of chaos. This was the situation when God allowed Nebuchadnezzar to come to power, and he raised up the cruel and powerful Babylonians to judge Israel and many nations. Now I wonder if in the place of the statue of Columbus, would we now erect a Mayan priest holding in one hand a baby who was about to be sacrificed to the gods that they might have good weather, and in the other hand the head of an enemy who had just lost a sporting event? My friends, America is not perfect, nor in its conquest of this land. But one thing that I'm sure of in God's providence, God raised up America, and its history is good overall, though we have many, many sins and flaws. But America has been a means of blessing the nations, and it continues to be a lighthouse to the world of the good news of Jesus Christ. Oh, we Christians need to humble ourselves and pray for God to give a revival in its churches, that America might continue to be that lighthouse. We continue our study of the doctrine of how God deals with nations from Sound the Alarm. We're today in section 2, chapter 8, not according to your righteousness. May God bless you as you pray for revival in America.